I mean, to that point, I know that you, I mean, seem to have kept a pretty positive attitude through all this. And I know that you are helping to feed the like hospital and medical workers through all of this. So my question is why? You know what I mean? It's so easy to just worry about your own family. I mean, it's very good. I don't mean why in a bad way. I mean, why in a great way.
You know what? I'm generally a person who needs to keep moving. And when we were told to stay at home, and while we have done, you know, I am an essential worker, and I don't always feel that essential. The truth is I'm a feeder. We feed our community. Usually it's in our dining rooms. But when the first time around, when our dining rooms at our restaurants were shut down, I still need to feed our community. That's a role that I take seriously. It's sort of my passion and profession, but it's also a role that is essential right now. There is a real need. And so when our restaurants were closed in March, we realized we had and still do, a clean kitchen. We have an incredibly talented team of chefs and cooks in the kitchen. I have a car that can deliver food to hospitals, and there is a real need. And there's also, I think I've always been I don't know, I need to make someone laugh. I need to make someone smile. I think maybe that's the publicist in me or the people pleaser in me, or just sort of a general joie de vivre that I have always had. And it makes me feel good. And so when times were very uncertain and uncomfortable in March, and by the way, not that they're not now, we're just getting used to it. I felt that need even more to make people laugh and smile and give thanks for the work that they're doing. And so the combination of all of that really kicked off this program.
And I like the slogan, you give, we cook, they eat. That's simple but basic. I like it.
Yeah, I was it came about very organically. I was actually we didn't raise money initially. We were just doing this on our own because we have contacts with the suppliers and I can get food relatively cheaply. And there was a need. And so I was driving, I think 30 lunches to Cedars-Sinai, actually where I was dropping off food this morning too. And I got a call from a girlfriend in the car, and she said, "Oh, what are you doing?" We were chatting. I said, "Oh, I'm just bringing lunch to some of the ICU unit at Cedars." And she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Oh, we're just like cooking and bringing food to people. It makes me feel good." And she sent me a text then, and it was a picture of the front and back of her credit card. And she said, "Put $2,500 on this for your next. You don't need to do this all. And this is amazing. And I want to help." And at first I felt a little uncomfortable charging money on my friend's card, because this is not a charity we've set up. This is just sort of something that we were doing. And she said, "Look, it's not good enough just to be told to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. I want to do something that I can't, but you can, and you can do it for me. And you can do it for a lot of people." So, and actually, I think I posted a picture of that first delivery and maybe thanked her in it or sent it to her. I must have posted it. But someone else got in touch with me, someone who I didn't know actually, on my Instagram, and said, "I would like to, where do I donate these meals?" And I thought, oh, okay. So then I set up a GoFundMe, and I was trying to figure out what it's called. And then it's very simple, because it's you give money, we cook, you give, we cook, and they eat. And it's incredible to, while this wasn't, we didn't really think this program through. It was just something that, I wanted to do. The importance of a nurturing meal that's been donated takes on such a different role than just a lunch that someone gets in the cafeteria. These nurses don't really have time to get food. These doctors don't have time, the medical staffers, etc. They spend their own money on it and they're just completely exhausted. And when I see them at the drop-offs, they're so appreciative, not only of the meal, but also that people from around the world have donated funds for their lunch. So it's almost this feeling of they're being looked after, they're being thought of, and not just filling their tummy.
That makes sense. Now, I mean, were you ever scared, just like we're in a different world now, like you said, we've gotten used to some of this. Like in the beginning, I wouldn't even go downstairs to see my doorman. Like, I wouldn't even walk in the hallway. Like, were you ever scared, like, just being physically out, like, even if you weren't really around everybody?
No, I mean, I'm not in New York, so the congestion levels, you know, we live in the Pacific Palisades. It's very sleepy here. It's very easy to keep 6 feet away from anyone, 10 feet away from anyone. In my kitchen, you know, I drive in, or I always wear a mask. I actually have an N100 mask that I was wearing initially when I was scared, and got quite a few comments of people saying you should really give this to the healthcare workers. The truth is we live in California. There are wildfires here, and I get really sick with the smoke. And so when the wildfires flare up once a year, I have this mask so I can breathe. And so I was using that mask, and that gave me a certain level of comfort. But equally, it's, you know what, I wasn't really scared. I'm like, the food is being loaded in the back of my car from my kitchen. I drive to the hospitals. You know, I'm not licking the doorknobs. I'm not cuddling the nurses. I'm literally opening up the back of my car, standing at a distance, and they grab everything and bring it out. So, no, it's okay. I don't know. I didn't get scared.